Hi everyone. I am Amores from Gelitwo Z06 and my course is AB Psychology. So today we are going to talk about my synthesis blog report. And of course, what I'm going to talk about here is the things that I've learned at my Gelitwo subject. So, okay, let's start. So for the first question, so what are the three takeaways from each module? So in our subject or in Jalet 2 Z06, there's only two modules that was finished and discussed. So the first module is the national in the global, and the second module is the empire outside world literature, colonial past, and post-colonial present. So of course, we're gonna start with module 1, which is the national in the global. So first, I would like to discuss about the taximan story. So what is the taximan story? The taximan story is a story about a taximan and his daughter. His daughter is a college student and has a part-time job of somehow selling her body. And the taximan's job, of course, is being a taximan. What he does is the foreigners or the men foreigners, he brings the foreigners to hostels, to motels, to somewhere that does prostitution. And there's an irony in this story. The irony is that the taximan hates the idea of teenage girls selling their bodies to tourists or to men. Or at the same time, he hates the idea of girls selling the bodies. But the thing is, his daughter has a side job or as a part-time job of being a prostitute or selling her bodies to tourist men. So the thing is, there's another irony where what the father hates the most is actually he is actually one of the guys or one of the people that is the bridge into making that happen. Since he hates teenage girls that sells or the idea of teenage girls selling their bodies, he's also one of the ways whereas he brings the tourists to hotels and hostels where the one that gives service are also college students or teenagers. So there's that irony in that certain scenario or the story. Okay, so that's the taximan story. So next is I'm going to talk about the video materials that Sir gave us. So one of the video materials that I really liked and actually gave me a huge impact or really different view is the 2 plus 2 equals to 5. So the 2 plus 2 equals to 5 is a movie where there's children trying to do math and the teacher's saying that 2 plus 2 equals to 5 while one of the student rebelled or got against that idea where he told the teacher no, it's 2 plus 2 equals to 4, and then the teacher was like, I'm gonna bring you the 3 most top student in the school, and then the 3 top students were like 2 plus 2 equals to 5, and then the kid was like still not convinced and he still knows the right answer or the right idea of what's 2 plus 2. And then it got to the point where the teacher ordered the top 3 students to kill the one that's going against the idea of 2 plus 2 equals to 5. So the student got killed, and then the teacher was like, who wants to go against the idea? And then nobody answered, and then when the teacher asked 2 plus 2 equals to 5, 2 plus 2 equals to what? And then the other students was like 2 plus 2 equals to 5. So in that video, it has a very big meaning, or it has a very deep meaning behind those actions, behind those with those directives. Like for me, it's so Nazi type of thing. Like, there's authoritarian and this dictatorship. It's like you can't really say what you want, or you can't really do what you want, because what you're gonna do and what you want, it's like it's being dictated, or they are going to, other people or people in power are the ones that's going to dictate what you have to do, what you have to need, what you have to want. So it's also like a part, there's like brainwashing in the story, like, or in the video. It's like, for me, that video actually means a lot, because especially in the Philippines, where the Philippines is really a country where it's really colonized by other countries. But the thing is, we didn't really let other people colonize, or other country colonize us. We tried to fight back, and I think that is one of the messages that the video wants us to accept, or to see, that we shouldn't let other people dictate us, or have an authority over us, or too much brainwashing, because some things are wrong, but they keep on pushing that it's right. So you have to know what's the right thing, or what's the right thing to do, or what's the correct way to do things. So that's for the first video. The second video that I really like is the Talk Me In video. This video is like somehow horror, but not really. Okay, let me tell you the context of this video. The context of the video is that there's a kid, or there's a dad that went to a kid's room, to his son's room, and then the dad was supposed to say goodnight, and then the kid was like, "Can you tuck me in?" And then the dad tucked him in, and then before the dad left the room, the kid asked, "Dad, you didn't check under the bed." And then when the dad checked under the bed, there's like the same kid under the bed, and then the kid under the bed said, "Dad, there's someone on my bed." And then it's like, you're gonna think, what the hell is happening? Like, what's happening in this video? And then it's like the chills went through my skin, and then the hair follicles in my skin, or in my arms, stood up. It's like, because the idea of the monster in my bed, or the monster under my bed, it goes in that story, or at least for me, in my idea, what went into my mind in an instant is that, "Oh my God, Dad, there's a monster under my bed. Can you check?" And then when the dad checked, it's like the kid under the bed was like, "Dad, there's a monster on my bed." So like, oh, and then the video cut in that story, and on that certain scene. So for that video, it's really nice, and because it gives the viewers, or the watchers, their own ending into that certain story, or to that certain video. It's like, bahala kayo. It's like the creator of the video, or the short clip, was like, bahala kayo, isipin niyo na kung ano yung magandang ending dyan. Basta there's that. And then syempre, as a viewer, one of the viewers, I was like, what? So I was like mind blown, and to the point that, what's happening? And then to the point that I got scared to that video, to the point that it's not even supposed to be scary, okay? It's supposed to be a video whereas it should explore your ideas, or imagination, I guess. But that's that. So the next video that I'd like to excuse me. The next video, or the short clip that I'd want to talk about, is the present. So the first two videos are somewhat scary and somewhat very hard to sink in, but because it's too much, okay? But for this video, the present, it's about a story where there's a disabled kid, or a kid that has a missing leg, and then he's just playing video games, and then the mother of that kid was like, came home and gave the kid a present, and inside the present was a dog. But then at first the kid was very excited and happy, but then he saw that the dog was also missing a leg, and because of that, he ignored the dog. And then after he ignored the dog was still sweet, and then realizing that even though the dog has a missing leg, the dog is still sweet, the dog is still playful, and the dog can still be a dog and can still be himself. And I guess in that video, and then after that, he played with the dog and loved the dog and cared for the dog. And then after that, in that video, for me, I guess what is the creator of the video wants to send to the or to the viewers is that no matter if you're disabled, I think you can still do things that you want, do things that you like, and that we shouldn't discriminate people with disabilities or missing parts of their bodies. So, yeah, and I guess for Module 1, National in the Global, of course, this is talking about the ideas regarding local identity, traditions on how they find breathing places in the labels of the world literature and globalization. So, I guess in those stories, it opens up about the idea of course, globalization, world literature, and local identity and national tradition. Like what I said, not and like what I said sa story nung Takmin tsaka yung 2 plus 2 plus 5, see, not everyone has the same ideas. For example, in Filipino tradition, there's not really an idea of tucking the kids in or the under the bed kasi wala naman talaga tayong masyadong bed for lalo na sa mga middle class to low class. So, and also for the 2 plus 2 plus equals to 5, hindi naman tayo naka-experience ng dictatorship or authoritarian except for Marcos, I guess. But that's a general idea, I guess. It's like we didn't really experience that much to the point of like German type of Nazi, ganun. So, I guess that's what this module is trying to talk to us about. So next, we are going to talk about the module number 2. The module number two is the empire outside world literature, colonial past, and post-colonial present. So, okay, in this module, we've also read and watched some videos and stories. So first, I'd like to talk about the video that I've watched is that you've got to be carefully taught. This video came from a musical theater, I guess, but originally from a musical theater. But in the video that I watched, came from a movie where a soldier was beaten up, and then she was talking to a girl, and then after the girl left, she sang, "You've got to be carefully taught." Okay, so "You've Got to Be Carefully Taught" is a song from the musical South Pacific, which was composed by Richard Rogers with lyrics Oscar Hammerstein. So the musical premiered on Broadway 1949. The song is performed by the character Lieutenant Cable and addressed the issue of racial prejudice. Okay, so in the context of the musical storyline, Lieutenant Cable sings the song to express his internal struggle with a different racial background. The lyrics suggest that prejudice is not inherent but rather something that is learned, often from a young age through cultural and societal influences. So the song is known for its powerful, thought-provoking lyrics, and it has been praised for its social commentary and racism, and the importance of challenging prejudice. Beliefs you've got to be taught remains a relevant and impactful piece that has been discussed and analyzed in a broader context of social issues and arts. So yeah, that's the whole story, or not really the whole story, or the glimpse story of the You've Got to Be Taught. You've got to be carefully taught. So it was like a racial issue when it comes to its sa soldiers or sa somewhere sa barracks ng mga soldiers where they have yung base ng mga soldiers. There you go. So next is the thing that I'm going to discuss is the Not Poor video. I really like this video because it has somewhat turned into a comedic type of video. And of course, me, I like comedy video. So first is the Not Poor is a video, a short clip where there's like office workers talking in the office, of course, and then there's like a number of white people and then one black guy, and then they were somewhat discriminating this black guy because he's black. It's like they were asking him personal stuff like, do you have a home, do you have money, do you have things that a normal person has, that a normal person should have, but they keep on asking him despite him looking professional or nice. Not really professional, but he's wearing smart casual. But his co-workers were discriminating him and asking him some random questions, some discriminating questions, to the point that when they ordered pizza, they were like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to pay. We know that you don't have money. Here, I'll give you money. And there's also a part of that video where there was a poor, like literally a poor, or how should I say, a homeless person in that office, sleeping inside that office. And of course, in reality, there's no such thing. But in this video, of course, it was comedic, where the homeless person was lying inside, and then that person is white, but they don't even consider that person as homeless because that person is white. And then compared to the black guy, he was being considered as homeless because he's black. So yeah, that is the story of the Not Poor video. See, in this module, which is module number 2, colonial, the empire outside world literature, colonial past and post-colonial present. This video actually has a big impact, especially in our society now, where cancel culture is very present in our society, or in my generation and in our generation. So it's like they are discriminating people because of who they are. I mean, not really who they are, but because of their skin tone or where they came from. You see, people has to be woke when it comes to things like that, because our society is changing, and inclusivity is very important in a normal society. I think in this module, since what I've watched and what I've read, or most of the videos that I've watched, was more on about being discriminated, black people being discriminated. So I guess that's what this module is talking about, where the colonial past and the colonial present, the things that's happening in the society, the stigmas, the racial profiling. So I think that's what the module 2 is talking about. So now I'm going to talk about the 3 takeaways from class lecture sync and async activities, reading and viewing materials covered outside the module materials. Of course, one, I would like to talk about the theater play that I've watched. As a person, or as me, I don't really like theater plays because that's not my vibe. But the first, not really the first, but the only few theaters that I've watched was Halimaw at DLSU. I really like this theater because this theater is so good. The writing is so good. The execution is so good. What happened is that the whole story was about a guy trying to save the 3 daughters of the boss, and then at the same time, supposedly he was the hero of the story, but he was stealing the stuff or the special things per halimaws, or per mythical creatures, and then every time that he steals something, he becomes powerful, or he becomes somewhat unstoppable, or he can stop the evil creatures that stole or that kidnapped the 3 princesses, or the 3 sons, or the 3 daughters, sorry, not sons. And then what happened at the end, he became the king, and then there was a foreshadowing where, since he was stealing the things of the mythical creature, it's like having power means you're gonna steal something, and that's what happened to the main character, where when he became king, he stole everything from everyone. That's what makes the theater or the play very nice and very wonderful. It's like you're gonna be mind blown. You're gonna be like, whoa, what? Like what? Not really whoa, but you're gonna be like, oh my god, I didn't expect that thing to happen. I didn't expect for the hero to happen, because usually when the hero does something, he becomes the king, and then that's the end. But in that story, there was like a plot twist at the end. There was like a very turning point. Like, even though you're the hero, even though you're somewhat good, when power comes to you, you're gonna become the halimaw itself. So that's what I saw from that certain video, or certain what do you call this? Certain theater play. Sorry, I forgot. And then next, one of the what's this? Outside module material that I really like is the understanding the music or the story of something. For example, what activity that we did was we were listening to music, and then we have to understand who's the persona, what's the persona, what's the situation, and then was it resolved. With this certain activity, or with this certain things that Sir taught us, I like this because it really helped me understand and expand my comprehension skills, because to be honest, I really suck at comprehension. And with that certain activity, I enjoyed it because with the music that I watch, with the things that I of course I love music, and with that, since I realize the things that Sir made us practice with is the music. Every time that I listen to the music now, it's like I sorry, nawawala ako. Pero every time na nakikinig na ako sa music ngayon, iniintindi ko na yung persona, what's happening, ano yung parang story of this song, and then who is it for. So I was like, I appreciate song more, or the story of the songs. So I really like that activity because, of course, it helped me improve on myself, and it helped me be more aware, not just listening, not just watching, but I try to understand the storyline, or the storyline of the whole story. So third is the hero's journey. Ever since I was grade school or high school, I was already studying the hero's journey. So I was like, ano ba yan, hanggang college pinag-aaralan ko pa yung hero's journey. Pero syempre, as a person na parang tumatanda na ako yung hero sa sarili kong story, kaya kong i-apply yung hero's journey sa sarili kong buhay. That's why I really like this story. I really like this certain activity or certain pagtuturo ni Sir, kasi nga the hero's story is not just a simple plot or a simple phase na usan. This is the start of my story, this is the climax, this is the returning hero, like blah 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 blah. So it's like I like this certain activity because the hero's journey, I applied this to myself because this activity is very helpful in realizing where I am in my life right now, and in what I should do the next few months or few years in my life. See, so that's how important, or that's how impactful the hero's journey is for me. So I guess that's the modules 1 and 2. So now I'm going to discuss on how do I see myself learning and insights from how do you see yourself learning and insights from Gelitwo contributing to the development as an individual and member of society even after your academic life in the DLSU. So of course, I see myself, of course, I'm learning things from Gelitwo, and I'm like what I said a while ago at Hero's Journey. I don't just try to learn it for now, but I'm already applying it to myself, and realizing what I should do and realizing what my next few years plan, like that. So the things that I'm learning at Gelitwo, of course, everything that I learn is important because it can be applied in real life. But for me in Gelitwo, it's really important, or it's contributing to me as as an individual and in my development as a member of the society, because of course I can use certain skills, like in module 2, the colonial past and the colonial present. What I said a while ago was like about discrimination, and of course I won't be discriminating my workmates, my friends, my family, and I'm trying to understand what that lesson is all about. And same for for module 1, where the national and the global, yung 2 plus 2 plus 5 tsaka yung takmin, there's always gonna be an outside perspective that you have to be imaginative, you have to be very thinking outside of the box. You don't have to like keep yourself in that certain idea where the norms. You can always think more. You should explore your ways of thinking. See, so that's what makes me think that the things that I'm learning right now in Gelitwo could really help me in my development, because the things that I've said are really important in becoming a better person, of course, in being a better worker, or in as a better student. See, so the things that I'm learning right now are very important. So in conclusion, the things that I've learned and the things that I'm still learning, I'm already trying to apply it to myself, and I'm trying to be a better version of me. And for the modules 1 and 2, the national and the global, where there's always things happening around us, and where you have to be very explorative with your ideas, and you shouldn't let yourself be contained in the idea of the norms. You should try to be more imaginative and try to have your own ideas. So you be unique. And then for the second module, of course, the Empire Outside the World, literature, colonial past, and post-colonial present, we should be very respectful to other people, and of course, discrimination, we shouldn't do that. And there are things that's happening that's really bad and that we shouldn't do towards our fellow community people. So yeah, I guess that's that. And that the colonial past and the post-colonial present, what happened in the past, we should use it as a guide in the present, so that we shouldn't make our mistakes again. So I guess that's it for my synthesis vlog for Gelitwo. So that again, I am Amores from Gelitwo Z06, and once again, thank you all for listening. Bye everyone.